Did you refresh it?
I just opened it.
Am I live? This is so weird. I have no idea what's going on. Ah, the pitfalls of being live, right? What are you gonna do? Okay, I have no idea. So, can you guys see me okay? I guess I'll just have to make this into a part two, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and edit it. I don't know. But I really did want these to be live. I don't know. We'll try to plow through and continue on with this chapter. If anything else happens, we'll have to postpone it one more day. But thank you guys for being so patient with me. Cause hey, what can you do about the internet, right? Oh my gosh. Just gotta wait on that router. So anyway, um, let's see. What else did he bring up? I don't even know where the last video got cut off. Okay. But he went in to say, it's not really the number of things that you do, but the efficiency of each separate action that counts. Every act in and of itself is either success or failure. It's either effective or inefficient, and every inefficient act is a failure. So if you spend your life doing inefficient acts, your whole life will be a failure. Are you guys picking me up? Okay. All right. So when it comes to that, you know, this is why so many people are struggling, because we keep getting told it's hard work, hard work. You get rewarded for hard work. And a lot of people are doing all this hard work, but they're not getting anything from it, right? They're not getting the riches. We were told the secret to riches is go to school and get good grades. You got a ton of people that were C average, D average. Some people did not go to college. Everybody's talking about go to college and get a degree. That's the best way for you to make money. Where? All those people that went to college are in debt. Working hard, slaving behind their desks on their computers, and they're not rich. They're not living that life that they dreamed about. Something is wrong here. Okay? And it's because we focus our time being busy instead of being effective, instead of being productive. We're busy. We just, pile on a ton of things to do. Whether it's by our own selves feeling obligated to do certain things for our communities, for our families, for our churches, all that kind of stuff, and neglecting ourselves, or if it's from tasks given to us as projects at work and things like that. Tons of things to do. We get them done, but all of these things that you're doing is ineffective. It's inefficient. Whoa. That's hard. That's a hard pill for some people to swallow, because they're like, well, what I do helps people and what I do does this, does that. But the goal is for you to do what you do and spend all those hours every day, every week doing what you do for your life to be fulfilled too. And if you're not feeling that, right, and you're looking to make a transition in life, it's time to start focusing on doing efficient action. Boom. Okay. So, he goes on to say, the more things you do, the worse for you if all your acts are inefficient and inefficient ones. On the other hand, every efficient act is a success in itself, and every act of your life is an efficient one. Your whole life must be a success, right? There's no doubt about that. Um, the cause of failure is doing too many things in an inefficient manner and not doing enough things in an efficient manner. That's one thing that I really respect and admire about Robert Kiyosaki is he talks about these things so often. He talks about the fact that so many people are still focused on, the methods of having that successful life, having riches in such an old-fashioned way. Tips that you were given a generation or two or three ago, 40 years ago, 80 years ago, people telling you to do things a certain way, and that did not work. What I love about this book I mean, it doesn't work today. What I love about this book is that it is classic. This is a science. So no matter what, even when times change and the economy changes, you could still do these things today. You could do them 100 years from now, just like you could do them 100 years ago, and it will still produce the same result. You getting rich. No matter what. Okay. Back in the day, they said, "Oh, save your money, save your money." And what Robert Kiyosaki had brought up is the fact that you're saving your money, but now money's a currency. Ever since 1971, now it's a currency, and so they're just printing money, and now it's not worth as much as it used to be. Whoa. And then on top of that, there's inflation. So the value of things is going up, but the value of money is going down. So now you're going to need even more money. So you can't save it. You got to multiply it. Yikes. And a lot of people aren't doing that. It's things like that. So you're doing all these things, you're working your buns off for what? That's inefficient these days. Working hard gets you where? Work smart, right? Saving for what? They're taking taxes out of your savings these days too. So why do that when you can instead take your savings, go invest it? If you invest it, no, you can totally eliminate your taxes. Boom. So it's like it's a matter of thinking about how to go about doing things and achieving your goal in a more efficient way, even if it's unconventional, even if it's something you're not used to. You know what? Sometimes you got to take the plunge and do something different, right? If you keep doing the same things expecting a different result, that's the definition of insanity. If you start doing things differently, even though it might feel a little awkward and uncomfortable for you, I would rather be awkward and uncomfortable and achieving my goals than being comfortable being broke and miserable. Wouldn't you? Hope so. Okay? Because if you are, then you'll keep reading this book and I'll meet you back here tomorrow. Okay, awesome. So, let's see. Hopefully you guys can still see me okay. All right. Let's see. So, you'll see that it's a self-evident proposition that if you don't do any inefficient acts, and if you do a sufficient number of efficient acts, then you'll become rich. If now it is possible for you to make each act an efficient one, you see again that the getting of riches is reduced to an exact science like mathematics. The matter turns then on the questions whether you can make each separate act a success in itself, and this you certainly can do. Um, you can make each act a success because all power is working with you, and all power cannot fail. Power is at your service, and to make each act efficient, you have only you have only to put power into it. Okay, so let me read that again because I messed that up. To make each act efficient, you have only to put power into it. Every action is either strong or weak, and when everyone is strong, you're acting in a certain way which will make you rich. Every act can be made strong and efficient by holding your vision while you're doing it and putting the whole power of your faith and purpose into it. So it is at this point that people fail who separate mental power from personal action. They use the power of the mind in one place and at one time, and then they act in another place, right? In another place and at another time. So their acts are not successful in themselves because too many of them are inefficient. But if all power goes into every act, no matter how commonplace, every act will be a success in itself. And as in the nature of things, every success opens the way to other successes. Your progress toward what you want and the progress of what you want toward you and will become increasingly rapid. So, for example, for those of you that are like, oh my God, what? I don't understand. Oh my gosh. Okay, first off, go back and read it yourself. Okay, you should have a copy of the book by now. But think about it like this, okay? Especially if you're like me, you study the Bible, you're a Christian, you know the story of Joseph, right? Everything that Joseph set his hand to was always with faith and purpose. He knew the Lord was with him. No matter what it was that he did, he didn't say, oh my God, I'm in this strange land. I've never been here before. I've never done these things that they want me to do before. I don't know how to do this. I'll never be good at it. No, he knew the Lord was with him. And because he had all power, he knew that he could do anything that he set his hand to. And he did. And he was always the best at what he did. So much so that the boss would take notice. And when the boss took notice, elevated and promoted Joseph to the top every single time. This started off just within his own family. His father knew that he was something special. His father set him apart from the rest of his brothers who had to go out there and do all the grunt work. Okay, instead he was inside in his coat of many colors, chilling, learning, hanging out with mom, right? The apple of his dad's eye, you know. Then brothers got jealous, plotted and planned to do something evil, decided to sell their own brother into slavery, you guys. Sold him into slavery, ripped up his coat of many colors, dipped it in some animal's blood, took it to the father, said, oh my gosh, he dead. Oh no, I think he dead. Right? Then he's sold into slavery. He's never been a slave before. He's never done any manual labor before. His brothers all did all of that. He doesn't know what to do. And yet, when he's told, go do this job, take care of this, he does the best work. So much so it gets taken notice. I mean, it is extraordinary work. It is on a level of supernatural for the person who was in charge at the time to see what he was doing and know that the Lord is with him. Must be. And he didn't even believe in that same God. That's power right there. Okay? So then he gets elevated to being able to have control over the entire household. And you would think, end of the story, right? Happily ever after? Nope. Because just when he's elevated to the top, he comes crashing back down. Not because of anything he did. Somebody once again set him up to fail. Right? Potiphar's wife, trying to entice him, trying to seduce him. He didn't give in to that. She decided to lie and accuse him of a crime he did not commit. Right? So now he gets thrown in jail. You would think, oh my God, that's so tragic. That's the end? Nope. Because again, even being in jail, everything that Joseph did was with faith and purpose. Every single time. So once again, people take notice. Person in charge of the prison took notice of Joseph, elevated and promoted him to the top to be in charge of all the other prisoners. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh my gosh. So every time you do things with efficient action, with faith and purpose, you will be successful. Now you would think, okay, well, he's in charge. He's got a title. He's got responsibility, but he's in jail though. He ain't got no money. Watch this. Because he was doing all he could where he was, not complaining, not lamenting, not moaning about it, but instead doing everything that he could with efficient action, with faith and purpose where he was in that moment to get with the purpose of getting out of there and doing better. That's exactly what happened to him. The gift that he had of being able to interpret dreams allowed him to come out of prison and be able to interpret the Pharaoh's dreams, and the Pharaoh was able to put him second in command, in charge of all of Egypt, a country he's not even from. Efficient action, faith and purpose, doing things in the now, all you can right now. Now, of course, there's more details in the story, but geez, right? Now the richest man, right? Second only to Potiphar, in charge of all the country. And right around that time was when there was a famine surrounding them. But because Joseph had interpreted Pharaoh's dreams and they knew to set aside 20% of every crop that they had harvest, right? They had more than enough because they had been saving 20% of every harvest for 7 years. So when that drought came, they were unbothered by it and was even able to make money for their country by selling off all those grains and things that they had stored up. Not only that, but that helped to save his family's life because they were a part of that famine and they had to travel to Egypt to get some food. And once they finally, long story short, when they finally discovered that, oh my gosh, Joseph is not dead. Well, the brothers knew he wasn't dead, but once the rest of the family realized he's not dead, he's here and he's in charge, he didn't shun them. He didn't cuss them out. He forgave them, moved them all in. Moved them all into the town, the city of Goshen, which means to come near. Boy, okay? So don't think that because you're not where you want to be right now that it's time to complain and to cry. It is time for you to take efficient action. It is time for you to visualize what it is you do want, and then every action that you do, have that vision in the forefront of your mind with the purpose of getting to that goal based on the little things that you're doing right now. Okay? So again, he goes on to say, remember that successful action is cumulative in its results. Just like with Joseph, little by little, he eventually got to his destiny. So since the desire for more life is inherent in all things, when a man begins to move towards larger life, more things will attach themselves to him, money included. Okay. And the influence of his desire is multiplied. The more you focus on going towards your goals, the more you influence and impact and inspire other people to do the same thing. It gets multiplied. So again, do every day all that you can do that day, and do each act in an efficient manner. Okay? So, in saying that you must hold your vision while you're doing each act, however trivial or commonplace, I do not mean to say that it's necessary at all times to see the vision distinctly to its smallest detail. It should be the work of your leisure hours to use your imagination on the details of your vision and to contemplate them until they are firmly fixed upon your memory. If you wish for speedy results, spend practically all your spare time in this practice. By continuous contemplation, you will get the picture of what you want, even to the smallest details, so firmly fixed upon your mind and so completely transferred to the mind of formless substance that in your working hours, you need only to mentally refer to the picture in order to stimulate your faith and your purpose. A lot of people call this motivation, okay? Self-motivation, all right? And cause your best effort to be put forth. Contemplate your picture in your leisure hours until your consciousness is so full of it that you can grasp it instantly. You will become so enthused with its bright promises that the mere thought of it will call forth the strongest energies of your whole being. Let us again repeat our syllabus and by slightly changing the closing statements to bring it to the point that we've now reached. So before we get to that point, listen. So even for me, when I think about, my dream home that I have on my vision board, I have the floor plan mapped out. Yes. And a lot of people be like, oh, that's great. You know exactly where you want all the rooms to be. You got some idea of what it's going to look like in each room. No, y'all don't understand. I picked out the wallpaper. I picked out the paint colors. I picked out the furniture. I picked out the carpet, the hardwood floors. I picked out the color of the floors. I picked out where I'm purchasing the furniture from, how long it's going to take to get shipped. Like, all of that is planned out. Where the light fixtures are going to go, what kinds of light fixtures I want, where the outlets are going to go on the walls in each room, where are the windows, like, all of that is planned out. Okay, so when I first decided on what I wanted my dream home to be, it was kind of hard to visualize. And I kept thinking, I was like, I just wish like something like this was already out there, right? And then I found it. I found it on YouTube, no less. And I saw that house and I was like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And then I went online and looked up the fact that you could design your own home and you can, change up the floor plan. And so I did that, printed it out, put it on my vision board. But then beyond that, just like he says, in your leisure hours, right, when you're not focused on doing your work and when you have some spare time, really start thinking about exactly what you want. So I started looking online for different pieces of furniture, the type of style that I have, what I like in my home, what would make it be really comfortable for me and very luxurious. Like, those are the kinds of things I like. And I kept just picking things out, saving them, putting them on a USB. Okay, so I know exactly what I want. Now, again, I've got to focus every single day when I am taking action. And those times I'm like, I don't feel like doing this, or I don't feel so good, I got a cramp. I have to call forth that image in my mind of what it is that I want as motivation to keep me going. Those days where it's not so easy working on my business and things aren't going right, like my internet's acting up, I still have to move forward. And having the vision and the faith and the purpose, you'll be able to do that. Okay? So let's go back over the things that he wanted us to. Let me pull up the statements again. Okay? So this is the first one. Okay? So there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the interspaces of the universe. Right? So that's the first one. Next, we got to remember this one. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. So we got that one. Okay. Then we go on to say man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance can cause the thing that he thinks about to be created. Right? Okay. All right. So in order to do this, where'd I go? Man must pass from the competitive to the creative mind. Right? He's got to, hold on, let me make sure I got the same one. All right. So he's going to have to form a clear mental picture of that thing that he wants. Okay? And to do with faith and purpose all that can be done each day, and we're going to add this on, doing each separate thing in an efficient manner. Okay? I'm going to add that on to the whole mix. So there you have it. That is chapter 12. Okay? And when you do that, when you hold that clear and mental picture and you do those things, you want to make sure that you have that fixed purpose to get what you want, the unwavering faith, right? Closing your mind to anything that might take you off your purpose, dim your vision, or quench your faith. Definitely need to do that. All right? So there you go. All right. And you got to act now. Got to act now upon the people and the things in your present environment. Okay? So, yeah, I'm loving it. I really love this book. How are you guys loving it? We only have 5 chapters to go, you guys. Ooh, I'm nervous. Okay, but very excited about the whole thing. So I can't wait to talk some more about it very soon. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, you guys, I'm going to go. You guys know what to do. And also remember, tonight, okay, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am hosting my webinar. So make sure that you tune in for that. Even if you're catching the replay, you never know. I just might have a replay version of the webinar as well. So you definitely want to click the button to check that out too. But we're going to be talking about the laptop lifestyle. So hold on one second. Do I still have it up? I don't think I have it. I don't think I have my picture up here. Nope, I don't. But that's okay. We're going to be talking about the laptop lifestyle, and I'm sharing with you three very simple steps for you to be able to start making $1,000 days. You could actually do this in as little as 8 days, to be honest with you. I did. And I'm going to show you all about that. But not only will you be able to make $1,000 and up days, but be able to do it without the stress and the overwhelm, right? Because we're going to stick along the lines of what you're learning in this book. Now, you're not going to have to get competitive. You're not going to have to cheat anybody. You're not going to have to tear anybody down to make this happen for yourself. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. And like I said, the steps are very simple. No tech skills required. No previous experience required. None of that stuff. No MLM required and all that. 3-way calls. We're not doing that, okay? We keeping it simple. All right, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. All you got to do is click the link below inside of the description box to get all the great information, including a free copy of this book. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we talk about chapter 13, which is going to be all about, what are we talking about tomorrow? We already talked about efficient action. Tomorrow, whoops, where'd it go? Getting into the right business. That's right. That's the name of it. So hopefully you already had a chance to read it. I have. Can't wait to talk about it. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.